Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. On this video, we're going to go back and I think this might be part 4 or 5 of our series on looking at our collection of wrestling programs, pictures, and all of that. The first one I'm going to do is I actually cut this out, and I believe I might have used this in a program because, and the only reason I say I used it in a program because at the back of it, it says 153%, and I can't remember, what was that other one say, 8 inches? I don't think it would have been 8 inches, but Dirty White Boys, Tony Anthony and Lynn Denton, they were a great tag team.
Yep.
Let me bring this up so everybody can see it. This was actually in the Wrestling News magazine, I believe. I think this might have been on the back cover of one of them. But they were so good, but they never got, I don't think they ever got pushed that well.
Yeah.
Anywhere they went. They wasn't really given an opportunity in Mid-South Wrestling. What do you think, Rodney?
No, I think they did better, I think, as the grapplers than they did as the Dirty White Boys. That seemed to be an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I think their mains was the Tony Anthony by himself more than he was with Lynn Denton. But the grapplers, I think, were the more I guess popular tag team that they made.
Well, I think they took the belts off of them when they went to Memphis, right? I mean, not the belts, but the belts too, baby.
They did that.
The mask. I think they took the mask off because there was already so many masked men there. They had the Assassins at the time. They had what was the team called? The A team in Memphis at the time. A bunch of masked teams because I don't think they needed another one. So they actually made them the Dirty White Boys. But I think you're right. They drew a lot of money as the grapplers in Louisiana. They did great business in Texas with them. So that was all right. Here is a photograph of 2 people who are no longer with us. I believe this was Doug Furness's wife. I'm pretty sure that's who's sitting here with them. You've got Doug Furness, Bullet Bob Armstrong, and I believe that that is Doug's wife, isn't it, Rodney?
Yeah, it kind of looks like her, doesn't it?
I think that.
I'm not sure.
We always used to tell her, I don't know what you're doing with this guy.
That's true. That is true.
We would. We said, "What do you see in this guy?" This is what we'd always say, but this was, I think this was during the wrestling. Was this during the Wrestling Fans International thing as well?
It looks like it. I was not there. Of course, I boycotted the whole festivities because they were not giving me an award.
I think they were looking at an old wrestling magazine. Doug Furness probably asking, "Who's that?" Because he never watched wrestling.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it is a wrestling magazine. Yeah. All right, let's move on, and we all know this guy right here, Continental Heavyweight Champion in this photograph, the Nature Boy Buddy Landel. This was took in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Coliseum. It was took by a Steve Strogdale. I wonder if old Steve's still with us. This was took in 1987, I believe, during the while he was the Continental Heavyweight Champion. And I think this was after he managed the Ughelli Headhunters. Because didn't he come in as the manager of the Headhunters first?
Yes, he did.
Took Kevin Sullivan's place when Kevin Sullivan didn't want to do the job and left. Because he never did do them. He never showed up for the loser leave town matches. Here is one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Rock and Roll Express.
Yep.
This was took during their time with Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I have to think that they have to go down as one of the top 10 tag teams.
Yep.
Pro wrestling tag teams.
I don't remember what promotion that they were wrestling for, but Ricky and his son Kerry captured the tag team belts last week.
Was that in Decatur, Tennessee?
I think so.
Or Joey Kazana, I think he's the
maybe,
one.
Maybe I believe that was it.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to, people say, and I've heard people say that Robert Gibson, but I have a newfound respect for Robert. When I go back and watch the matches, I look at Robert differently than maybe I looked at him in that time frame. Robert really was very good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because Ricky Morton had such a personality that he outshined Robert in a way.
Yeah.
But Robert, man, was just a solid performer.
And Robert, to his credit, knew when to step back and let Ricky take that spotlight, because he knew that him being with Ricky was the key to both of them being successful, because they weren't big guys.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, that was back in the day where you had to be a big guy to get a single push, but they knew where their money was and they took care of each other.
By the way, when Bill Dundee told me when they started doing when they asked him, Robert, to be the Rock and Roll Express, he didn't want to do it. He said he complained and said he was a wrestler. He wasn't a rock and roll singer, and he didn't want to do all that. And Ricky said, whatever you want me to do, I'm for it. Whatever you want me to do. So, but I think Robert can look back at it now and say, well, I'm glad I did not say just no to that. Yeah. Here is Super Kick, Scott Armstrong with the U.S. Junior title. This was probably this 87, Rodney?
Probably.
1987 Super Kick, Scott Armstrong. By the way, for those people who don't know who the Armstrongs are, you've been living under the rock for the one thing, but they were over in Alabama.
Yep.
Every one of them were over.
Scott is 59 and is in fantastic shape. Works for WWE for the NXT brand behind the scenes. I think he handles the timing of the matches and stuff now. Still going strong. Still looks great.
All right. Here is a photograph, and there is a car inside this picture. I don't remember there ever being a car inside that building, but there's Robert Fuller. Either the Tennessee Stud, could have been the Tennessee Stud now, or this could have been Luscious Robert Fuller. But there's a car inside that building. You remember this, Rodney?
No, I do not.
But there is maybe a Cadillac sitting inside that building that he's leaning up against. But I don't remember them having a Cadillac tournament or anything. So Robert
just turned 72 a few days ago.
Still looks good too.
It looks really good.
Always a nice guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Always a nice guy.
Yeah.
Always like Robert. He was the good brother. Then we've got Mr. Wrestling 2 on the set. This is on the set of Georgia Championship Wrestling. I guess why were the mics so close together? Was that Gordon's mic on the other side there?
Probably was.
I think we sold these pictures. Did we sell these, Rodney?
What is very possible, but those look like some that Emmy would take for the program.
Yeah, probably you're probably right.
That's been the front of the program many times. That picture was.
Hey, by the way, I said that everybody but Rodney and me and other videos got our award at the Wrestling Fans International deal, and this is proof that those two other people that got our award that night. There you see Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. I'm gathering they have tag team of the year. I'm not for sure, but everybody on the roster at some point got some type of a deal. I shouldn't have won either. When I look back at it, I shouldn't have won either.
You're boycotted.
I should have boycotted right along with you, since I didn't get an award. Captain Redneck Dick Murdock. This photograph, I believe we got when he worked for Mid-South Wrestling. This was a publicity picture that would be sent out to the newspapers. One of the greatest right here. Somebody asked, I think Brian Young said, was Dick Murdock really that good? Yes, Dick Murdock was really that good. He knew the psychology of the business. He knew how to make people mad. He knew how to get them. I seen him and Ric Flair have a match in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I just so happened to be in the dressing room, and Dick said, "Boy, tonight we don't do the Ric Flair match. We do." He said, "Tonight we do the Dick Murdock match," and they did. Do a completely different match. He did not take the slam off the top rope. He did not do the flip over the top rope. He didn't do any of that stuff. But they had the people standing. It was Dick Murdock. He respected Dick Murdock. And actually, Dick Murdock was the babyface in this match. And he led the match, not Ric Flair. And this match was tremendous. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Central Plex.
Which, for people who don't understand, the majority of the time, the heel led the match. Yeah,
and in this deal, he told him that he would not be leading nothing; that it would be him. And I was back. I don't know what I was doing back there. I did go to that show by myself, though. I don't know why anybody else didn't go. Here is Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Now, we sold these pictures, didn't we, Rodney?
Yes, we did.
Thought we did. These are ones these is 1978, maybe 1979.
Yeah, probably 79, I would think.
Boy, he was over in Atlanta. I don't know that he was as over in Atlanta than he was in the Carolinas. I think maybe the Carolinas he was over more, but Wahoo was over, and man, he would whip you in a minute. Let's show one more photograph, and then we'll leave the rest of them for another show. You would think I'd have had it ready, but I've lost the picture that I was going to bring up. All right, well, all right, I'll just throw this one up here then instead. Adrian Street. Great picture from a Birmingham State Fair. I think Adrian, I remember getting these pictures and because we had these pictures made and took, and I can remember there being 2,200 shots of Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian liked pictures.
And about 3 of everybody else. I just remember getting a ton of these because we used them as the program. We used them in the program. So for the whatever we called it.
Well, Adrian was very photogenic. He loved that camera.
Yeah, he did, and he took some great pictures, and he never complained and argued about it. He was the one guy that never had a problem when you put him on the program. Most of the other ones would have a problem with it. If you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. If you haven't already, go one step further, hit that notification bell, and share the video. Until the next video, this is Brent West. On behalf of Rodney West and Jack Lord, we'll see you in the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.